Okay, most of you guys think hacking is just typing green code into a terminal until a password pops out. That's Hollywood garbage. Real hacking is systematic. It's about breaking down a target layer by layer. There is a blueprint that governs every single piece of data on the internet. It's called the OSI model. Think of it as a 7-story fortress. Today, we aren't talking about theory. We are starting in the basement at layer 1, and we are breaching our way up to layer 7. I'm going to show you exactly how attackers exploit every single level of a network and the exact weapons they use to do it. I'm not going to waste your time. I will tell you how hackers do in these layers one by one. You do your job, write it on your note, then study it. How to use those one by one. You know, I can't get detail here. Okay, now layer 1 is the basement, the physical layer. We aren't talking about code here. We are talking about raw electricity, radio frequencies, and copper wire. The attack at this layer is sniffing. A hacker doesn't always need to break through a firewall from halfway across the world. Sometimes they just walk into an office building in a high-vis vest and plug a rogue hardware device directly into the wall. They use tools like a Hack5 LAN turtle or a packet squirrel to splice right into the Ethernet line. Because they are physically tapped into the hardware, every piece of unencrypted data passing through that cable goes straight to the attacker. No passwords needed, just the wire. If the hacker can't physically cut the wire, they move up to layer 2, the data link layer. This layer uses MAC addresses to move data between devices on the exact same local network. The ultimate attack here is ARP spoofing. Hackers use tools like BetterCap or EtherCap to poison the local network. The attacker's machine sends out a broadcast message saying, "Hey everyone, my MAC address is now the main router." Because layer 2 protocols are highly trusting, the network believes it. Suddenly, all local traffic routes directly through the hacker's laptop. They have successfully spoofed their identity and hijacked the local network. Okay, layer 3 is the network layer. We are out on the open internet now. This is the realm of IP addresses and global routing. The attack here is the man in the middle. At this layer, attackers manipulate the actual road signs of the internet. By using tools like Scapy to craft custom packets, or by exploiting vulnerabilities in BGP, the protocol that routes global traffic, a hacker can redirect an entire city's web traffic through their own servers. They sit invisibly in the middle of the connection. You think you are logging directly into your bank, but you are actually handing your credentials straight to the attacker. As we climb to layer 4, the transport layer, things get tactical. This layer handles the actual connections using TCP and UDP. For an attacker, this is the reconnaissance phase. This is where the legendary tool Nmap comes into play. Hackers use Nmap to fire thousands of specially crafted TCP packets at a target server. It's the digital equivalent of walking down a hotel hallway and testing every single doorknob to see which one is unlocked. By analyzing how the server responds at layer 4, the hacker knows exactly which ports are open, what services are running, and where the weak points are. They aren't inside yet. They are mapping the attack surface. Layer 5 is the session layer. This layer opens, manages, and closes communication between applications. Once you log into a website, the session layer gives you a unique session token or cookie. This means you don't have to re-enter your password on every single page. The attack here is session hijacking. Why would a hacker spend weeks trying to crack a complex 20-character password when they can just steal your active session token? By using proxy tools like Burp Suite or Wireshark, an attacker intercepts your unencrypted cookie and injects it into their own browser. The server checks the token, assumes the hacker is you, and grants full account access. Layer 6 is the presentation layer. This translates data into a format the application can actually read, handling encryption and encoding. Because this layer is all about how data is formatted, it is the perfect place for evasion and phishing. Hackers use Layer 6 to trick the human eye and bypass antivirus scanners using tools like the Social Engineer Toolkit, SET, or advanced encoders. They might use an homograph attack, registering a domain name using a Cyrillic letter A instead of an English A. To you, the URL looks exactly like apple.com, but it routes to a malicious server. Or they might encode a virus payload into a base 64 string to hide it from security filters. They weaponize the presentation of the data. We have finally reached the penthouse. Layer 7, the application layer. This is the web browser, the database, the software you interact with every day. This is where the exploit happens. At this level, the hacker isn't messing with wires, routers, or IP addresses. They are attacking the logic of the code itself. They use frameworks like Metasploit to drop a remote code execution payload, or SQL map to rip a database of credit cards out of a website through a vulnerable search bar. This is where cross-site scripting, buffer overflows, and SQL injections live. Layer 7 is where the hacker takes total, programmatic control of the system. The OSI model is not just theory, it is the exact anatomy of the internet. If you want to be a cybersecurity professional, you need to know how to attack and defend every single floor of this fortress, because an adversary only needs to break through one. If you want to see me take these tools and demonstrate a live Layer 7 exploit, hit the subscribe button. Stay paranoid, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. One life, one shot, make it count.